Welcome to another video where I'll be talking about Kaizer Chiefs. I watched the previous 4 matches of Kaizer Chiefs where they played the first game against Cruz. Was it Kruger United? Golden Arrows where they lost. Against Kukune where they won, and against Sundowns where they did what? They drew. But before I talk about all these matches, and I'll be giving my perspective, and I'll be talking about what I think the coach want to do and what I've heard him say and what he need to achieve, what he want to achieve. But before that, I would like you to hit that subscribe button, share, like, comment, give me your thoughts on whatever I'll be saying, whether you agree or disagree with me. Because as we know, football is a game of opinions. Everyone has their own opinion. Everyone thinks that they know. So tell me what you know, tell me what you think, tell me what you like, tell me what you dislike about Coach Fernando de Cruz. But firstly, I want to talk about the previous games. Against Kruger's Park, and the game was so good, the game was okay because of the small team. I can't say much about it. The way they came back in second half to be resilient and to fight for the win that they gave, it was nice, it was cool. But the first thing that annoys me, it was the game against Golden Arrows. Before I'll be talking about all the good things, the positive things about the games and how tactically they are, I want to talk about all the bad things that they behaving. And I will start with Golden Arrows. And against Golden Arrows, Chiefs were playing very good, but the moment that they conceded, they were so down. It's like they don't Chiefs, they're not yet having that mentality of the big team, that mentality of best players. Because if we saw Sundowns, they came from the back. How many times? 3 times in their last 3 games against TS Galaxy, Polokwane City, and even Kaizer Chiefs. That is the mentality of a big team. Pirates, their first 2 games, they came from the back. At MTN 8, they won at the last minute. That's the team that shows resilience, that's showing the hunger, that's showing the mentality of being a champion. Chiefs, they're not yet at that level, and I'm urging that players to be those players who can turn a deficit into a win. Because of that's what life is. When you're losing, make sure that you get the upper hand above someone for you to be the winner and the next time. But the next time in a match doesn't mean the next game. It means at that moment or after 5 minutes you have conceded, make sure that you become better. Because of that, what football gives you a chance to improve during the same minutes as a team and manage to conquer what was so impossible for you to conquer. So Chiefs are not having that mentality of winning, of coming from a 1-0. I'm waiting to see them playing against I don't mean Skukun, Stellenbosch, Polokwane City. When they score first, can they manage to come back? That's the question I'm posing for Kaizer Chiefs players. Can they come back? Because against Golden Arrows, they were so down, they were so poor. They didn't have that sense of coming back, sense of agency, sense of belief. They didn't have that thing in them. Against Skukune, first half, they were poor. They were missing many chances, even though it was good that they were creating chances. But a top team don't miss most chances like that. You cannot miss 3 chances in a row. You need to punish. In 3, score 1. That's better. In a good day, in 3, you score 3. But when in your bad day, when you have 3 opportunities and you miss all 3, then what will happen in a good day when you have 5 opportunities? You'll only score 1. So that is not a thing that a good team, that a team with a better mentality need to have. Chiefs need to do better in this stage. And against Sundowns, I didn't watch the whole game. I watched the second half. The second half, I saw how tactically and how defensive they were. Do I blame them? I don't blame them. I can't blame a coach for the desired tactics that he used because of knowing that the other team is having an edge above them. In 2021, Xavi was playing a low block against Real Madrid. Do we have to blame Xavi for Barcelona playing a low block? No, he knows. Real Madrid at that time, they had better players than him. So how do you get points? Play a low block, manage to get those counter-attacks. And did Xavi lose? No, he didn't. He won a Super Cup. He won La Liga. Even though there was a time he lost 4-0 against Real Madrid. So sometimes as a coach, you need to be smart. Be aware of your surrounding. Be aware of your team. Don't just say, oh, I'm going to play my system however and whichever team I come across. Because of that is what made Ruben Amorim of Manchester United lose his job. Because he was hot-headed, playing the same formation with whoever he come across with. Because some teams are better than you, but they will punish and they will destroy you. As I'm done with me giving the thoughts of Kaizer Chiefs matches, I want to talk tactical about Kaizer Chiefs. Firstly, the thing that I hear Kaizer Chiefs coach Fernando Cruz always saying is that he wants his team to control. Control is always in his mind, in his mouth. At the press conference, he's always saying, or he wants his team to control. How do you control the game? By knowing when to speed up the attack or slow down the tempo. That is control that he's talking about. We control by speeding and slowing down the attack. By defending is how you control. The way you don't allow team to have spaces is how you control the game. How you attack the rest defense is how you control the game. But one thing he likes is like the control of the ball position. And there are players in my mind that they will be able to allow him to control how he wants to control. And the other thing he said is that he wants his team to press forward, to have the high tempo. Because against Sundowns, the goal that Kaizer Chiefs scored, it was them pressing hard. But you cannot press high at any moment. No, you need to have that gegen pressing of Liverpool for you to be the best team. And Chiefs players need to have the stamina to press each and every time for them to be able to be that big team they are supposed to be. Because if they're saying they're the big team, but the big team need to know that when we are pressing, we need to press and show people that we are not afraid to press. And for them to have that system of them controlling the ball and playing with a high press, they are midfielders that, in my opinion, that I would like that Fernando de Cruz to try them. Because of sometimes people are saying, no, he's been promising, he's been always promising and promising. But what kind of a football are you watching? What kind of football are you watching? What kind of a no do you know? Because of that midfield, if you need control, if you need to slow down the tempo, you need to have a no. Because of last season, I was watching no because of Cedric Haze was playing him more and more. The Ngobo as a number 10, the Ngobo as a number 8 is the best Ngobo you'll ever see. Because of last season, when Ngobo was paired with Muthetwa, Ngobo was the one who was a deep line playmaker, who was making sure that he collect the ball from the center back. And one thing about him was Ngobo, he will always avail himself for his center back to be the option for them to pass him the ball. That thing was Ngobo. Ngobo can drop between the center back to control very deep. Because of Mlebu Mabu cannot do that. Mtasingwa, that guy is not, he has not been that player that I can say is able to start for Kaizer Chiefs. Ndlovu cannot do that. Muthetwa cannot do that. Ngobo, as a number 10, is able to make those runs. We saw him against Lemonville Golden Arrows. He was making those runs. He was availing himself on the left and the right hand side of the pitch, even though he missed most chances. But when a player misses most chances, you don't say next time you're not playing. Play that player for him to gain confidence. Ngobo with confidence. Do you remember the Nkosingipile Ngobo of Gavin Hunt? Do you remember that player? Because I still think that player is still there. Ngobo was availing himself, dropping deep to collect the ball. If you check the stats of Nkosingipile Ngobo last season, you will see Nkosingipile Ngobo, he's always availing himself for his center back and and recycling the ball, always making those passes, forward passes, always making sure that the team are in the correct and the right shape. That is Ngozi Ngiphile. So if you have the players to press, then you have the pairing of Ngozi Ngiphile and Lebo Maboe. Mabra, I think you have the best Kaizer Chiefs, you have the best ball playing players in your team. And even if you have Ngozi Ngiphile and Mothetho, they can work together, because of last season they showed that they can work together. And I would like to thank Cedric Gaze and Nazarena Nabi for improving Ox Mothetho. Mothetho has improved a lot. He knows how to avail himself here and there. He's no longer the player that will be lost in a match. You only see him when there's time to defend. No, against it was against Kokuni where he was making those long balls. Did you ever see that kind of a Mothetho in Stellenbosch? No, but Mothetho has improved himself. And one thing I want to talk about our the Chiefs centre back pairing, because of Miguel can do all those dirty things, but he doesn't have that pass that McCarthy was giving us. I almost said about his father, but it was McCarthy who was giving those passes. He doesn't have them. I'm really wishing for Dudley to come back from the team, because of we need those passes of Dudley. On the other side, we can say Dudley can be paired with Miguel. That's what needs to happen for Chiefs to have that control that they need. They need a player like Ngozi Ngiphile. On attack, I think those young players are doing very well. Those young players are playing well, but sometimes they're lacking something. Those right decisions, those correct decisions. By me saying I'm willing to have the middle field of Ngozi Ngiphile and Ngozi Ngiphile and Mothetho, I'm not saying Ndlovu must be out. No. Sometimes rotation is better. When you are playing against these small teams, put Ngozi Ngiphile and Lebo Maboe for you to control the game, for you to boss those same players. If you are playing against Orlando Pirates, Sundowns, play Ox Mothetho as Ngozi Ngiphile, play Ox Mothetho or Ox Mothetho and Maboe and Ndlovu and Ndlovu and Maboe, because of you cannot play Ndlovu, Mothetho and Maboe at the same time. Those players, they're all playing as eights. Keep number 8 and 6, that's their mentality. They are more of a 8, number 6. But when you have Ngozi Ngiphile, you have an 8, a 6, and a 10 at the same time. That player is evolving to be the best player, but because of lacking of minutes, maybe a coach is not seeing how good he is, or maybe they are seeing, maybe that he don't have the personnel for them to be paired with. They think he's not the best players because of Ngozi Ngiphile. I want to see Ngozi Ngiphile thrive at Kaizer Chiefs. I want to see Ngozi Ngiphile be that player that I know he can be. And sometimes I'm thinking, maybe we are playing Fundo Vilakazi at the wrong position, because of last year at the Under 20 World Cup, Under 20 AFCON, Fundo Vilakazi was playing as a number 10. Pili was on the left hand side, and that boy was doing very good. Mfundo Vilakazi is a more of a number 10. That's why he always like to cut inside and drive the ball until he's in that center, even though that thing is boring because of he need to shoot more and more. But when you make him play at that center, just imagine his vision of threading those passes. His vision of him seeing a clear of a pool, him shooting, having PD on the left hand side, having Valabai, Batman, always a flop Valabai is a one-trick pony. He's a one-trick pony because when he has the ball, you always wanna go wide and cross the ball in. Sometimes they have to cut in. cut in and square that ball inside. Make that, again we have the underlap and overlap, and we have a cross and that in swing and out swing. Make those in swinger passes, crosses. And so, can you have a variation of you as a player? Even in Fundovilas need to have a variety of him as a player, not always cut inside. Sometimes you have to overlap. When Namonyan is in, overlap to make that cut back. Sometimes you make defenders not guess where you're gonna go. And so make defenders have a trouble when they're defending you. And so that's what Chiefs need. But for them to, are they improving? Yes, they are. Is Fernando de Cruz the right coach for them? Yes, he is. Because at this moment, I'm thinking of Fernando de Cruz is testing the personnel, seeing which players fit which role and how can I play them, which is not wrong, which is good. But I would like to see Novo most of the time. Cheslet is not a number 10, Cheslet is a number 8. For me, Cheslet is a number 8 because of last season I was seeing Cheslet and Novo, they're more like the same players. Because you cannot play Cheslet and Novo at the same team. No, you cannot. If you don't have Cheslet, you rather put in Novo. Because of those players, they are more of, they can drop deep and collect the ball. Because of Cheslet is a player who he liked to drop on the left hand side to drop between the center back and let the left back go high for him to collect the ball. Ngosingipini like to go on the right hand side. But one thing I like about Ngosingipini is that he's comfortable on the right and the left side of his foot. So he's more comfortable dropping on the left and dropping on the right. He's more comfortable of supporting the left wing and the right winger. So I'm saying Chiefs, they are ready to compete for number 1, number 2, number 3. But I don't see them winning the league. I don't see them going far as semi-final in confederation. I can see them going to the quarterfinals. I can see them winning 2 or 1 trophy this season. Because of the moment that the Carling Cup is coming, they will be ready. They will be a functioning team. The time of the Nedbank, I don't know if they can handle the pressure of competing in all cups, but Chiefs, they are there. They are in that moment. They are in that rivalry for them to become a bigger team. And it's time for them to show people that they can thrive. Those young players, they're not just there. Umfundo Vilagazi, Duva, who's this, Mduduzi. It's their time for them to show they developed in this Betway Premiership. They developed as a young players. They are seasoned players at the moment. Velabai was the captain of Captain Spurs. So as a captain, come and show that why were you a captain or Captain Spurs? Come and show us that mentality you were showing. And as for those veterans, Peterson, can you please limit the mistake that you are making? Mabuwe, please be that person. Do not be afraid to be who you are. Because at this point, for you to be the best players, at the moment, for Peterson, for Mabuwe, for Mtetwa, for Ndlovu, for you to be the best players in South Africa, to have the legacy, is for you to win something with Kaizer Chiefs. Win only 3 trophies for you to win. You only need 2 more trophies to beat the legends of Kaizer Chiefs. To have something that people they never had, to upgrade your CVs. For the young players, take over this league. Pirates, they are not the best. Sundowns, they are not the best as they were years ago. So it's time for you to close that gap. Be the players that you can be. Be the players that you were at DDC. And by that I'm saying, Kaizer Chiefs, good luck. And please make sure that the Kosi Nation be as inspired and proud of you. Do not lose against Buchipa, Richards Bay, Kruger United, Melfort. No, make sure that against the top 5, maybe 4, you always gain some draws. You draw against those teams. And make sure that your loss is a draw. Do not lose more than 5 games a season. Because of that, will limit the chance of you winning the Betway Premiership. Because of, I think this Betway Premiership will be very, very close. By that, I'm saying, sharp up.